We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We working. Wow. Bad news. Ryan Garcia explains his side of the story, what happened with the Pacquiao and the Gervonta fights, and he tells his own promoter, don't lie on me. You know, whatever you do, don't lie on me. We're going to talk about that on this here video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Before I get started, use my link in the description to order TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is a great resource and utility for YouTube channels. If you got a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter what the genre is, but I've personally used TUBEBUDDY for years to help scale up my channel. It's a great tool and resource. It's a browser extension that you can get on multiple browsers. I currently use Google Chrome, and it'll help get your YouTube channel up to speed with some unique tools that aren't ready and available in the regular YouTube platform. So they have it baked right into that. Once you get it, I think they have like a trial, or you can, you know, just take my word for it. I use TUBEBUDDY and I've used it for years and had great success with it. That's why I'm working with them on my channel. Now, use my link in the description, TUBEBUDDY. Let's go. Ryan Garcia. He did an interview with Fight Hype, link in the description. And in that interview, he basically was asked about, hey, I got to ask you about the Pacquiao situation. Tank, what's your side? And he just started talking about what it is, and boy, oh boy. I'm not going to read verbatim what he says and quotes, but I'll do a pretty good job of paraphrasing what was said. If you would like to hear the exact interview verbatim as is, as always, use my link in the description to go to that video, hear and see for yourself what was said. Now, Ryan Garcia, he started opening up. He said he was minding his own business and he wanted to fight Gervonta Davis. So he started to promote the fight, right? And he says out of nowhere, he gets a call from Team Pacquiao and saying it's go time and Pacquiao wants to fight you, whoop, whoop, whoop. So he says he posted it, and men lie, women lie, numbers don't. It took off. He said he got more positive feedback or more likes on the Ryan Garcia Pacquiao post than he even did on the Gervonta post. Now, let me stop right there and explain. This is just my perspective on the whole matter. You know, it's nothing personal. It's always business. It's never nothing personal. But Ryan Garcia is attempting to defend himself and explain why it happened. But even after hearing it, I still think that he's part of what caused the confusion. In this interview, he's saying to the effect of, people are saying I'm clout chasing. And he's saying, like, why would I clout chase? I have a healthy fan base. I can make a YouTube video or make any type of post and get traffic. But I disagree with what he's saying. Is there's a lot of people who are celebrity, you know, and have an audience that still do things that are clout chasing. And because Ryan Garcia is younger than me, I'm just trying to give some OG game, if you will. Part of why the waters get muddy and there's confusion is perhaps the methodology, you know, and the how. And I think that's what Ryan Garcia is in this interview. He's not really taking any ownership or accountability in his part. For example, just to give you a quick analogy, if you're in a car and you're the driver and you know somebody is going to ride on the enemy and roll down that window and shoot at the ops. You didn't pull the trigger, but you're still an accomplice, aka an accessory to murder. Now, Ryan Garcia, in his effort to defend his side and explain why, one thing he's not taking ownership and accountability for is you still played a part in why people feel you're clout chasing with those posts. I told you before, and I guess some of these fighters are going to learn the hard way. Social media is a very powerful tool. You have a true announcement, information at our fingertips. People can be made available to see what's going on in your world. Tickets go on sale today. Here's the announcement of my fight. But it's a dangerous tool, and it's a double-edged sword in the wrong hands. You can't put out bad or misinformation and expect to not get that backlash. Ryan Garcia, what he did, in my opinion, was irresponsible, because from a business perspective, you have the prospect of these fights, and before the business is hammered out and fully done, you're taking to social media, creating additional calamity. And the thing is, if you really want to get ahead in life and get to that next step, you can't have a bunch of hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. So Ryan Garcia let the whole world, like, he's talking about the numbers, like, oh, it did 2 million likes and all that. But that is also to your detriment, because those 2 million people and organic people that liked your post are also potential people who are now saying you're clout chasing and or let down if you don't fight one of the two people. Now it gets worse, because in this interview, Ryan Garcia, he starts saying stuff that, to me, it doesn't look like a well-oiled machine, like people are on the same page, which I guess Ego Stradamus strikes again. I don't know how I keep doing it, but I seem to keep getting it right in the world of boxing. He says to Oscar, we had conversations about the Pacquiao fight, and I said I want Gervonta or Pacquiao. And Oscar was like, okay with it. And he said, so it kind of bothered me to see Oscar say it's just an Instagram thing, because now he's making it look bad on me, like I'm just doing it for clout. But that right there shows that you and your team, people you pay, people that you've appointed to help manage and handle your career, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, this is not a well-oiled machine. Again, back to accountability. This is why it looks bad on Ryan Garcia, because all this stuff, a lot of it could have been handled behind closed doors until Ryan Garcia made it a public issue. You broke the levees. You opened the floodgates for the criticism by posting stuff that wasn't done. And in nowhere in this interview that I watched did he take accountability for that. That's the ultimate thing. And then he also said some things that were a little bit off-putting. He says, unless I'm being lied to. Like, what fighter pays for a team and says stuff like, oh, to my knowledge, Pacquiao wanted to fight me and whoop, and we all agreed, unless I'm being lied to. So just as Ego Stradamus predicted, there is some real different levels of confusion going on as to what's the next move. Ryan Garcia, he's done multiple interviews, and he even confirmed and corroborated another recent interview, what I made a video about, where he says he is looking for two names, Gervonta and Manny Pacquiao. But again, later in this interview, he says, oh, the Pacquiao fight still can happen if the Pacquiao, he was saying stuff like that. So to me, it doesn't look great for the prospects of the Pacquiao. It looks like it's fizzled out, or they can't get everything, like they can't get all parties on board. And then he says something to the effect of, I'm telling you right here on camera, I want to fight these guys and these guys only. So if it's not them next, meaning Gervonta or Pacquiao, then it's not me. It's not my fault. But again, it doesn't excuse the behavior. People, at the end of it, you put out flyers where you said, I'm fighting Gervonta. He better, pony up and fight me Otherwise, he's a bitch or whatever he said. His legacy is forever tarnished. Then he said, hey, a dream come true. I'm fighting Pacquiao, And I don't know what Ryan, he doesn't seem like he understands that concept of it. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't, from this interview I'm watching, he hasn't really said anything about his part. He's just saying, hey, if it don't happen, it's not because of me. But ultimately, fans don't want to hear that. The fans, you told the fans you're going to fight one or two guys. If that doesn't happen, it's still going to be a bad look on you. Let's just say I had a wife and she was opening a taco truck. And before getting with my wife, I started printing flyers and or Instagram posts saying, hey, the taco truck opens up this Monday and she's not ready to go on Monday. So I would look foolish and make the whole operation look foolish because I told the world the grand opening was this Monday and it's really not. And or using the same analogy, if I had a wife, she was opening a taco truck, and let's say the dates are copacetic. If I tell people that there's something on the menu that she hasn't received the supply for, like she can't get a good price on carne asada, right? So that's not on the menu. Right now, only things on the menu are ground beef, carnitas, and lengua, right? And I'm telling everybody, come down to the Ego's taco spot, and get you some carne asada tacos, and people get there and find out carne asada is not available, they're going to be disappointed. So that's in essence what Ryan Garcia did. He told the whole world, you can get the carne asada Pacquiao fight, you can get the super burrito, carne asada burrito, Gervonta Davis. And then you get there and it may not be on the menu. So that is your fault. That is your fault, because had you said nothing and seen where your team was at, or seen that there's this mass chaos, your dad in Guadalupe, Valencia wants to do this and you want to do this, but the people you're partnered with, Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez and Golden Boy, have a whole different set of ideas, or, they want to protect you from these fights, or they can't logistically make it make sense because of the pandemic, or whatever their reason for is. People aren't going to just give you a pass because you said, hey, it's not my fault. My hands are tied, because you're still complicit. You're still that accessory because you put all this stuff out. You put it out too. Because Oscar De La Hoya, you can say whatever you want about him. He's not always right, but he didn't run around and say Ryan Garcia's next fight is this guy. He didn't run around and say Ryan Garcia's fight is this guy, Pacquiao, Gervonta. He hasn't said anything like that. The only thing he really did say is that's some Instagram stuff, and, there's no real legs to that. So I think Ryan Garcia should just learn from the situation. He's young, but this is his third time in a row he did this. He posted the Luke Campbell fight last year in the summer, in July, and the fight was scheduled for December. Then it gets canceled. It doesn't even happen last year. It happened in January of this year. So, and De La Hoya also put out a tweet saying the fight's not done. So it just looks extremely bad and messy that Ryan Garcia's team seems to be at odds all the time and in discord. I don't know what the deal is or the inner workings and stuff, but from the outside looking in, those who know it's a bad look. No matter what Ryan says in an interview, it's still a bad look, because at the end of the day, you're paying Golden Boy your money. You did a exclusive extension contract after you were already perturbed by Golden Boy, and you signed an extension with them. And then you came out and said, I've signed for one of the most richest lucrative extensions for a prospect, and you did all this, and then now you guys seem to be kind of back at odds with each other in different directions. And for the outside consumer looking in, it just looks bad. So I think this should be a cautionary tale for people in boxing. Use social media, but use it to your advantage, not to your detriment. Get all the ducks in the row. I have never, and I'm saying this in all honesty, I've never seen Errol Spence, his fight, look like this with PBC. I've never seen Errol Spence where he said, I'm fighting Danny, and then PBC said, oh, no, he's not. Or he says the Danny or Sean Porter fight's finalized, and he's posting about it, and PBC or Al Heyman or Tim Smith or Goosen, or, you know, whoever, Brittany Goosen, comes out and says, oh, he's lying. And then now Ryan's talking about, just don't lie on me, don't lie on my name. If the Pacquiao fight or Tank fight doesn't happen, it's not my fault. But it is also your fault too, just based on the fact that you blabbermouthed the whole situation and you counted your chickens before they hatch. So maybe a lesson to be learned from Ryan Garcia. You know, I think he has good intentions, and maybe he does just want the big fights, but this is why you should, if you're this big on Instagram, because some of the other stuff, and I'll probably have to separate this into a different video, but some of the other stuff he was saying was a little bit kind of weird. He was just saying stuff like, I don't want fights just to be winning. He says, I only want the big fights. But if you're on this type of mission, why did you re-sign with Golden Boy? It seems like you should have, if you're this lit by yourself, you should have been on some like Floyd Mayweather or Mikey Garcia hype, where you're more of a free agent and then you can move how you want to do. Like Mikey Garcia has the flexibility to fight on PBC, fight on DAZN. So if this is how you want to move, and you're in such a different boat than other fighters, and you don't want to listen to Golden Boy or Oscar or whatever the situation, then why are you paying them? Like, why are you teamed up with the people if you don't value their direction and the teamwork that it takes? So the whole situation just seems very weird. That's like me being a top-rated actor, and I could work with any director in the world, and then I want somebody to direct the Ego biopic, and I get Steven Spielberg, but he's trying to give me direction, and I don't want to listen to what he's saying. It's like, why did I select this director if we don't work well together? If we disagree about the direction my career is headed, or how fast it's headed there, or who I should be fighting next. So I feel like Ryan Garcia, if he feels this independent, stay independent, so you at least have more creative control. Get your advisor, Guadalupe, and your dad, and then you could have just been like, oh, I'm fighting this, and then probably be easier to make, to be honest. Like Tank's a Mayweather promotions fighter. Mayweather doesn't have the greatest relationship with Oscar De La Hoya, so you as a free agent probably would have been easier to make the Gervonta Davis fight. So I feel like if a fighter feels like Ryan says he feels, then why even have a middleman? Cut out the middleman if that's how you feel, and if you feel like you're being held back and you're not getting the proper paychecks and purses and stuff like that. So the whole situation just looks a mess. If Ryan does not fight Tank or Pacquiao next, it's a L, period. I mean, he can say whatever he wants. Like I said, it's nothing personal. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. That's a L. You told people that and put pressure on these situations, and like he's acting like he doesn't understand why people are saying he's clout chasing. But look at it. You're bragging, saying I put it out and it got a crazy reaction. People want to see the fight. So yeah. So imagine how they feel if it don't happen. So everything you're saying is working against you. Yeah, 2 million people liked your post. Yeah, that's great. But that's also potentially 2 million people that are now disappointed because you didn't handle the business in the proper order of operations, and or get the clearance that you may have needed because you're not quite there as your own boss. So now the whole situation is FUBAR. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.